Hello everyone, my name is Ayo and I share interview and career tips as well as Scrum Master tips. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and if you're subscribed, thank you for subscribing. Continue to share with your friends and your family. Today I'll be talking about a day in the life of a Scrum Master. I'll be sharing everything you need to know about being a Scrum Master, and I'll also be sharing some tips that they usually do not tell you at the end of this video, so stay tuned and watch till the end. The first thing I do when I resume at 9 o'clock is to check my Scrum board, my active sprint board. Yes, I'm very glued to my active sprint board. I manage 2 teams, so I check their boards to see if anything has changed. I'm also checking that nobody has, added something to the board that hasn't been discussed. I'm checking to see the progress of things, and I'm just reviewing the tickets, how long they're staying in a particular column to see if the team is adding comments where necessary. And I'm just checking, right? Because I'm attached to my Scrum board and I check it all the time. And after I'm done with that, I join my stand-up. Like I said, I have 2 teams, so I join both stand-ups. And during the stand-up meeting, the daily stand-up, I'm facilitating the session. I'm observing them for, observing and watching out for any blockers. I'm also observing the team behavior, right? How they're communicating with each other. Are people jumping in to help others? Is this a free and an open and a collaborative environment? Is anybody stuck on anything? How can I help to assist them in removing that impediment? And I'm just observing for all of these things and taking notes, because these are the things I would try to help them resolve as a Scrum Master and to help them remove any form of impediments. Some of the blockers that I might have observed during the daily stand-up meetings might also need some clarification with maybe a solutions architect, or we need to set up an additional meeting. So I'm working closely with the developers and development team to understand what they really need. They can set up the time, I can set up the time. We're just doing everything we can as a team to work together. For any blockers or impediments that maybe it means access, or I need to approve something, I'm reviewing all of that. Like I said, my major role as a Scrum Master is to remove any impediments and to ensure that the team has everything they need to deliver on their objectives. So it might be that there's an issue affecting them or blocking them from progressing. I will be there to help them remove that impediment, which might mean speaking to people in management, speaking to other product owners, speaking to other stakeholders, working closely with the product owner. These are the things I will be doing on a daily basis. So I am assuming this is mid-sprint. We're done with our sprint planning session somewhere in the middle of the sprint. Apart from checking my Scrum board, and after I've joined the stand-up session, I'm also working closely with the product owner, because now we're preparing for the backlog refinement session, and this is where we prepare for the upcoming sprints. So I'm working closely with him, helping him in terms of prioritization, because some product owners might not know what to do. So just telling them how the user stories should be clear, the requirements should be clear, it should include any attachments or details where necessary. For the backlog refinement session, it might also mean that we want to bring in somebody that has more information, ensuring that they've been added to the meeting and they will be able to join. It might be that we need to include the solutions architect or someone from another team, just having everything prepared so that by the time we come for that meeting, we can quickly discuss, and even we can estimate those stories, because once the stories are clear enough, the developers will then feel confident, and the test analysts as well will feel confident to be able to estimate the stories. So I'm working closely with the product owner to ensure that all of this is set prior to the backlog refinement session. During the sprint is also when I start preparing for the retrospective. Now, there are different retrospective ideas, but sometimes I like to make it fun, and it depends on the atmosphere. It might be like a sprint whereby there's so many bugs, so many production issues. I usually have a simple retro, try to understand what went wrong, how we can do things better. And it might be a relaxed and very nice sprint. I can start with a game. There are different games on Kahoot. We can have like trivia. It depends on the atmosphere. So I will judge the atmosphere and start thinking of some retrospective ideas that would continue to encourage that team spirit. Now, one thing they don't usually tell you about the Scrum Master role is hardly will you ever find a Scrum Master position or role that is purely Scrum. So when you're having the interviews, they might just talk about the Scrum Master aspect. But when you join, they start, telling you about other things that, oh, maybe the previous Scrum Master used to do, or things that they're expecting you to do. And, most times that's the case. Like for me, I double also as a hiring manager. I hire like software developers in my team, and I'm very vast with the hiring process because I've sat down on many interview panels. And I also am a line manager to this software developer. So these are things I do in addition to being a Scrum Master. So it's just something for you to have at the back of your mind that this might also happen in your own situation. So don't get freaked out about it. And it can also be a question that you ask during the interview process. Now, you can ask like, is this all I'll be doing, or are there some additional rules that you haven't mentioned? Just so that everything is clear to you and so that you can also negotiate accordingly. And that's how that's what I do. That's a day in the life of a Scrum Master, and I thoroughly enjoy what I do. And if you're looking for videos on how to become a Scrum Master in this year, in 2023, check out the video here.